everyone, it's Jena here, and today I'm designing a layout for Bramble Fox. Today I'm working with some gorgeous bits from the April Fox box and some of the new stencils in the shop too. So I'm starting off my layout by using this circle stencil, and this is stencil number 34. It's basically got 5 different size circles on it, and I'm using, I think, the second largest size. And I'm kind of going to make a grid design, but using circles. And this is my second take doing this, by the way. I thought I might be able to get away with using the largest circles, but actually it didn't give me as much white space as I wanted in the end. So I opted for a slightly smaller one, and I'm a lot happier with how this one turned out. So at the moment here, you can see me just trying to sort of mark my edges where I need my circles to go, just so that they are all aligned, they're all straight in a nice sort of uniform pattern. But I will go ahead shortly and show you sort of the finished, I guess, outline of them all. It's just 3x3 grid with circles, but I was thinking about how I could use this stencil in quite a unique way, and I came up with quite a few ideas for this. And one of the things that I know has been trending on, I guess, sort of Facebook and Instagram at the moment in regards to the craft world is that Bokeh Technique. I think Vicky Booten did a few sort of live sessions quite recently, showing how to use sort of different tools and techniques to create sort of this bokeh effect. And I think this stencil would be a really, really good way to achieve that if you haven't got sort of punches or anything like that. So if you are looking for some ideas on how to use it, or maybe you want to trial bokeh for yourself, I think this stencil will be quite a good way to do that. Anyway, so I have finished my circle grid. So I've drawn circles on my white cardstock background, and I've also drawn circles on a piece of pink patterned cardstock, and you can see they're sort of spread out across my desk now. And essentially my plan is to come in with this other stencil, which I believe is stencil number 28, add some, I guess, pencil for the time being through some of these lines, and then I'll go over it with some thread, and then I'll put those pink circles back on top. It's quite hard to explain, but I hope you'll see what I mean in a minute. So I've got all of my lines now drawn across each of my circles, and I'm just going to use my paper piercing tool just to poke some holes in those to allow me to add some stitching to those in a minute. So here we are, I've pulled out this green thread, and I'm using 3 of the 6 strands, and I'm just going to go up and down through the holes just to create kind of like a small little sunburst effect behind each of these circles. And I will skip ahead in a moment so you don't have to see all of this, but this is essentially what it looks like now that all of those 9 circles have now got some sewing behind. I'm going to add some foam squares to adhere my circles onto my background, just to prop them up so slightly, and just add a tiny bit of height there as well. I've skipped ahead now, so they're all stuck down, and I'm going to start bringing in my perspectives and embellishments. So I'm using the March Hip Kit Club kit for this layout. I fussy cut all of these florals from one of the beautiful papers in the collection, and then I've also pulled in some of the ephemera from the Pink Fly Studio Life Right Now ephemera pack. And really I've just chosen colours that work well with the florals, so really sort of like yellows, whites, reds, greens. So you can see I've got my perspectives on there, and I've not really spoken too much about them yet. So I've used the Happy Days piece from the April Fox box, along with the 2 butterfly pieces that go with it. So I've got the small sort of flying butterfly up at the top there, and then I've got the bigger one just down at the bottom left. And I've also poured in a couple of hearts as well, red hearts, and I think these were from maybe one of the Valentine heart packs. I'll see what I can find in the shop, and I'll link those down below for you. I'm just going to add a sort of a cardstock background backfill to my butterflies. I just feel a bit odd about sometimes gluing things when they don't have a solid background and you can see sort of like different things poking through the back. So I'm just going to stick those to some cardstock and I'll cut those out in a moment. In the meantime though, I'm just getting everything else stuck down. I believe I've already stuck a lot of my florals down, but I'm just going to come in and add some of those hearts and get those stuck in, along with some enamel dots that match the collection as well. I think I do also come in with some sequins once I've finished gluing my butterflies down. Again, just in sort of that similar sort of yellow colour. And I just add a couple of these to each of my circles. And this is super simple. I think the longest part of this layout so far has been the sewing. But again, that was probably about an hour. So it's a super simple layout, so easily created, I guess, which is quite rare for me. But I think once you've got sort of a good spread of perspectives, it makes it quite easy to figure out where everything else can go. And here we are. Here's the final layout for you. I've got some close-ups coming on the way as well. I really hope you have enjoyed watching this layout come together today. If you do have any questions at all, please do leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you on those. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching this, and again I hope to see you again in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.